Hey everybody, welcome back to Holt Growers. I'm Timothy Holt, and today I'm going to be talking about a DIY solution to the dust in my wood shop. It's this thing right here. I'm going to go over how I built it, how it works, and whether or not I'm happy with it. So, a little background, I've been working in the shop building cabinetry now for a few weeks. Dust has been piling up, and it's been a major problem. I've had to move my heater on the wall up higher. I've had to clean it. Dust is a problem in any wood shop if you don't have a good, adequate dust collection system. And I have been using this Shop-Vac right here for my dust collection. I've been using it. It works, kinda. The biggest problem is before much collection happens, the filter clogs up, and it's a common problem using a Shop-Vac for a dust collector. So I went online, I started looking at some DIY solutions because I didn't want to go buy a industrial dust collector and hook it up in my shop. My shop is relatively small. It's 14 feet by 16 feet, which is a little less than 200 square feet. It's pretty cramped. I would like a larger shop, but it's just not doable right now. So I'm working with what I got. So I didn't want to burn up my Shop-Vac, and I also didn't want to burn up my heater. It's cold out. It's in the averaging in the 20s. It's snowing right now, and it's just, I like a warm shop. So I went ahead, cleaned the filter, cleaned out my Shop-Vac. We're going to see how well this thing works here in just a minute. But that's what I was using. Any of you who have had experience with this kind of thing will probably know that that filter is going to clog up real fast. So that came to this. I looked at a couple different bucket options for do-it-yourselfers. None of them fit together well, okay, for me. So I went with this. This is a very simple construction. You take 4 buckets, 2 of them need to have lids, and all 4 need to be about the same size, okay? In my case, I used, the gray one is an old paint bucket, 5-gallon paint bucket. The other 3 buckets I used held mid-weight joint compound, also known as drywall mud. They're left over from our kitchen remodel as well. And then you have a Shop-Vac hose. What I did here, show you, is these connectors came with my Shop-Vac. So my hose will plug in right there on the Shop-Vac. Slides in right like that. If I want to take this apart to use it direct with one of my machines, like the table saw, I can. There's no glue holding it in. This is from another Shop-Vac, this hose and system. This is the port that is on the lid. I'll show you a lid here. That's the one I cut off, which I'll get to, okay? But it's that opening right there. I just took the lid off and fit this on. To make that fit nice, I used some black electrical tape, which you can see on the back side, on the bottom side, to make it fit nice and snug. And then this is a elbow off of an old bathroom drain, sink drain, and a sleeve connector. Again, I use black electrical tape to make it fit nice and snug and hold together. I can adjust that angle, but ideally you're going to want that angle to hit the wall, to knock that dust that's coming in down. Okay. This is my exit port to my Shop-Vac, and a cup link on the bottom side simply to hold it in place. I used my Dremel tool to drill a hole, barely big enough to squeeze that piece of PVC in. As you can see, it just twists off. Okay. But you want it nice and tight. That's the lid. For the buckets, because one 5-gallon bucket is going to collapse if it's only one thick when you hook it up to the Shop-Vac, I did 2 buckets. In the bottom, I simply put sawdust in it. For the bottom one, left my handle. That way it's easy to dump. And that sawdust in the bottom creates a nice weight so it doesn't tip over. Then it's my 5-gallon bucket. I didn't do anything with this bucket except take the handle off. The next thing is the lid of that bucket. So the lid of that bucket, I cut out that ring right there. Okay, cut that out. Then I have 2 more buckets. These 2, one of them is a sleeve. I don't know how well, and I cut it so it would be a sleeve, and I left the handle off of that one. The other bucket, I cut just the bottom off and left the handle, again for easy movement around the shop. Now this bottom I cut so it would fit right in here into that lid, nice and snug. See, nice and snug, fits in great. And then you simply take your top lid with your connectors, close it up like you would your paint bucket, like so, and then hook up your Shop-Vac. Now I have a pile sitting here of sawdust. I'm actually going to zoom you in here and show you how well this is going to work. Now, as you can see, this is empty, that's empty, the filter is cleaned out, and a pile of sawdust. Before, that pile of sawdust would have clogged up my filter before I even got probably half of this pile cleaned up. So I know I could use a broom dustpan, but the real reason for this is to hook it up to my sanders and my table saw and suck that dust right straight from the machine. So let's see how well it works and plug it in. Let's get going. Alright, let's see how well this worked compared to what we normally have with just the Shop-Vac. Now, is this an industrial dust collector? No. Did it cost me $300 to build it? No. I already had the Shop-Vac. I already had the buckets. I already had almost all the connectors. The only one I didn't have was the cup link on this port right here. And I already had the hoses. So the only thing it cost me was some time and ingenuity. But overall, I think it works pretty well, and we're going to find out exactly how well, starting with what's in our Shop-Vac. So let's go ahead and unplug. We'll just take our hose off so it's out of our way. Okay, and we'll open this up and see how much was in here. Now I will say that at one point I did clog the hose with just some bigger pieces, and that's simply because of the diameter of my hose. It's an 1.25 inch hose, so it's not very big. And not bad, not bad. We have a little dust in here. So we do have a little bit in there. Not bad at all. Okay. Little dust. I was able to pick up all of it with the exception of those bigger pieces clogging my hose. Didn't clog the filter at all. Let's see about our bucket here. Now, I made it so I can just pick it up if I want for the whole thing, move the base bucket, or I can just pull off the top. Okay, so pull off the top, move it out of our way. Let's see how well this works. Okay. Check that out. Look at all that. About a half a bucket worth in there. Not quite, about a fourth of a bucket. Plenty of sawdust collection. Now, that is great. Ease of use, wonderful. Cost, again, maybe a couple of dollars in parts. Okay? Because it's all leftover. Now, if you look in there, you gotta, I did notice that you need to have that angle right, because if it's like it is right there, it's too much. You need it about right there, so it creates a cyclone effect. But this works great. I am looking forward to getting back into the shop. That's my review of a DIY dust collector. It works great for what I need it to do. I'm looking forward to using it more and keeping the dust down in my shop. I am going to be doing more projects in here. We still got the countertop to finish, as well as facing our counters, which is going to take a lot of cutting and sanding. So definitely looking forward to that. If you've ever made one of these or you've used one, let me know your thoughts. I know it's not as good as a commercial dust collection system with a bag and a blower, but for my size shop, this seems to be working pretty well. Again, my shop's only about 200 square feet. It's not very big. So I use it not just for woodworking, but some basic mechanic stuff too around here with our tiller and other tools that we have. So overall, very happy with this. It's a good use of some old buckets that we had laying around and parts. The other thing is, if I want to use that other Shop-Vac that I have, I still can take this hose off and use it, or I can use the other hose. It's versatile, it's flexible, it doesn't take up much space at all. And it definitely is going to help the lifespan and usability of my Shop-Vac. So, with that being said, let me know in the comments your thoughts, and I hope you got something out of this. If you want more detail, instruction on how to build your own, let me know, and I will provide it for you. As always, I'm Timothy Holt. Get out, grow something today. May God bless you.